right, welcome back to Marvelous. I am joined by the one and only Carlo from This Is Film.
Hell yeah. Good to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
You're the only person I thought of when I thought, how am I going to talk about the Avengers Doomsday trailer?
You and the 10 other people who very excitedly sent me fucking messages the other morning about me. Have you seen this?
How many did you have, be honest?
I think I had 8 messages when I woke up.
All right. Reasonable.
Yeah.
All right. As expected.
Wrong time to have a child, I think.
It was like 11 o'clock or something like that, or 11:30.
Yeah, they dropped it at 11 o'clock the night before. And Amanda and I have been going to bed at like 9 o'clock at night.
So I just gotten into bed and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just watch 1 or 2 like YouTube shorts before I go to bed. And then it came up. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
TV on.
Yeah.
Sorry, rest of the household.
Yeah.
Sound system's going up.
So 100%. It's the only way to do it, really. It was really the only way to do it. Like, you had to experience it in that way, like, clearly.
Before we jump into thoughts,
here is the full trailer for Avengers Doomsday.
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
I've fought with many warriors in my time. They were far stronger than all of us put together, and they died. They died facing enemies and threats that scared me far less than this one. Everything that they sacrifice will be for nothing if we do not stand together. Put aside your petty squabbles. Presume nothing except this. If you return, you will return as brothers and sisters. But mark my words. We're going to need a miracle.
Hey, pal.
It's not possible.
Yes.
So this is the first Avengers film since
Endgame
in 2019.
Yeah, so currently it's 7.5 years since the last Avengers film. And by the time it comes out, it'll be Avengers Endgame came out April of 2019, so it'll be close to 8 years by the time December rolls around.
All right.
The world's changed.
That is an understatement.
Yeah.
So run me through your initial thoughts when you first watched it.
My initial thoughts were, so I had known about the trailer. So this is a very similar trailer that I'd played at CinemaCon back in April of this year. And I had read that description online when it was happening. And I was like, this sounds amazing. And apparently in the room, it was the only trailer that like got an encore. Like they were asking, like someone had yelled out, play it again. And it was one of the only trailers that actually got an encore, and they were like, okay. People were very jazzed by it, and it was one of the first instances, like, because there's been a lot of like negativity around the film in a way, like a lot of like negativity, cynicism, skepticism, I guess, if you want to call it, whatever you really want to call it. A lot of I want to call it performative cynicism around Downey's casting as Doom.
Yes.
And I'm like, look, I try not to be an MCU dick rider. Like, I try to be very objective about this. And it's very, like...
Put that on a t-shirt.
The MCU dick, I will, yeah. And so, like, I'm not someone who sort of, like, espouses, like, Marvel can do no wrong. Marvel can definitely do wrong, 100%. But for me, like, the casting of Downey Jr. has always been something that I've been super intrigued by.
Mm.
And like, I'm like, how are they going to pull that off? And I'm like, well, it kind of makes sense in a way that I don't know what the thought process that Feige had when he hired him to do the job, when he spoke to him about doing the job. But for me, I'm like, it makes sense in my mind that, like, the guy that they got to at the birth of that universe, they get to end that universe. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like, it's kind of like for me in my head, it's like a full circle thing where it's like, okay, well, you know, let's really be really kind of subversive with it. It's a very subversive choice for me because I think that in my mind, I'm like, I wonder if they're actually going to address the fact that he looks like Tony Stark, and it'd be like the most ballsy fucking baller move if they don't. And if he takes his mask off and he's like completely disfigured and like he's doing the accent and all that sort of stuff. And it's
we heard the accent.
We heard the accent.
Bit. Yeah.
And he's like, and it's obviously like, and no one says, oh, Mr. Stark, or, you know, Tony Stark. It'd be very cool that it's just like, oh no, the whole reason why he is Doom, or they cast him as Doom, is because, like, you know, he's a great actor. And he's the one that could pull this. Like, obviously, it wouldn't be the only one that could pull this off, but like you know, it makes sense that they'd get him to do it in a way. It's very symbolic in a way.
Do you feel like there is, like, there's obviously a lot we don't know, because we've seen 2 minutes from a 3 hour. Do we know the official runtime?
Well, allegedly 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Okay, so nearly 3 hours,
which is weird because it's like, I mean, that will go either north or south of that. I don't know how much though, but like it's odd that they've already got a runtime 4 months out.
Yeah.
Usually they drop that sometime like a month prior, or like a couple of weeks, or whenever the tickets really go on sale. Like,
well, their tickets have gone on sale.
In the States, so like for 1,000 theaters.
But the Odyssey remember Odyssey IMAX? You got yours 12 months prior to. We didn't have a runtime then.
True.
So, yeah.
So
I guess runtime aside, do you think there'll be a connection between Tony Stark and
Victor Von Doom?
That's it. Thank you. Do you think there is a connection and making a connection, and they will make it very obvious, or they're just going to ignore it?
I will say this. I bring up the idea of so when Fantastic Four First Steps came out, everyone was like, because Thunderbolts had come out, and then that end credit sequence featured the Excelsior ship coming through a breach in the multiverse, whatever it was.
Yes.
Everyone then assumed that people then assumes like, okay, well, that means that, well, you've ruined the film for us, because then that means that Fantastic Four, their universe is going to be destroyed by Galactus or something like that, which didn't happen in the film, right? If there's anything great that Marvel does, if there's anything that Marvel does really well, it's in a way subverting the most obvious choices, right? And so for me, I'm like, you know, I use like Civil War as an example. Like, people are like, someone has to die in Civil War, right? There's no way that no one can die in Civil War, right? But then no one dies in Civil War.
No.
Right, except for T'Challa's dad. But, you know, in terms of like the main crew of the Avengers,
like a notable death.
There was, in Age of Ultron, people, like, you know, like even going as far as like holding back on saying Avengers Assemble, stuff like that. Like, there's always this thing of like you never would have guessed that they'll kill off Black Widow.
No,
or Gamora.
No, I don't think we all.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anyone sort of had picked that. Or giving such definitive endings to, like Steve Rogers, and you know, we all knew that like there was going to be a send off for Tony Stark in some way. So for me, I'm like, you know, what is the least fan theory going around? And then what's the opposite of that? Or sorry, what's the most fan theory going around, and then sort of like go in the opposite direction? Because I feel like they're sort of working against like internet speculation. And so I think that they'll go with like the least obvious thing. Yeah. So for me, I'm like, if they, you know, if there's any chance that they will. I don't think that to cut a long story short, I don't think that they'll actually address it. Honestly,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think that
Interesting.
they will be like, no, these are two separate people. They're not variants. In the way that Gemma Chan has played two characters in the MCU, so she played Cersei in the Eternals, and then she played one of the Kree in Captain Marvel, right?
I'm sidetracking now.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm going to ask you. Do you think the Eternals will be in this movie? And that's why I'm annoyed with this movie.
Brother,
anyway,
we
continue.
are lucky that we're getting a Shang-Chi appearance in this. The sound, mate, the sound that left my mouth when I saw that little snippet of Gambit versus Shang-Chi, I woke my son up. I screamed. I was like, oh my God. I was like, yes, finally, my boy's back. Like, you know, and on Gambit, it's very funny to me that, like, in a weird way, it was just like fun casting for Deadpool and Wolverine. And
I really forgot that he was in it.
Yeah.
And then I saw it in the trailer. I was like, oh, that's right. Okay, cool. We're in this now.
It's clearly been that he's clearly such a fan favorite from just that small screen time that he had.
Yeah.
That they're like, well, we have to fucking fold him in. Like, I mean, like, and I think that again, that comes back to I'm really like, I'm doing a lot of Marvel glazing right now. But like that I think Marvel do this thing when they're not fucking run off their feet with 5,000 different projects. Right.
Yeah.
And they are only focusing on films. They run by TV logic, right? And TV logic by TV writing, right? And by that I mean I use Breaking Bad as an example because Vince Gilligan is I love Vince Gilligan. I think he's one of the best sort of like writers of TV. And one of the things that he said was, they're like, do you have a plan for every season? And they're like, no, we have a flashlight, right? And we point it in a certain direction. So we kind of know where we're going, but we don't really completely know where we're going, right? And so when they started Breaking Bad, they were like, they had a point A and a point B. And point A being he starts as a teacher and then he ends as Scarface, right? Everything in the middle of that is like, well, how do we fill that out? Like Jesse was supposed to die in the first season. So for me, I'm like, I look at Marvel and people have often said that like each MCU film is an episode of television, right? But they're so flexible and they're so agile. They have been flexible and have been agile in the way that they jump around from like, okay, well, you know, retconning things like Thanos's glove in Thor Ragnarok and you know, all these different bits and pieces. Cap shield or whatever. It's I think for me, it's like they're just very good at like figuring out what works project to project and then folding that in and then kind of making that like, you know, canon, because it's kind of like what works and you find that what the audience responds to the most in a way. So that for me is like, yeah.
Which is interesting. Because audience didn't really respond to Thunderbolts or Fantastic Four, and they are heavily featured in this trailer as being the forefront of the films when a lot of things that were more successful financially are not in this film.
I understand that.
So like, I'll be totally honest, I did not like the trailer.
Didn't you?
My favorite meme going around is, and I'll show it to you if you want to see it, but I didn't want to send it to you.
I've had a few people send me memes,
is the Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen going, bitch, how many times are we going to do
die?
this? Like, and I kind of get that. I'm like, how many times can we say goodbye to the freaking Fox X-Men? Because here's my thing. I don't want to see them die again. I don't want to see their world collapse again.
Okay,
I've
so what makes you,
but
hang on, what makes you think,
saw Patrick Stewart die in one of the best comic book movies ever made. Logan.
Yeah.
So
I thought you were going to say Multiverse of Madness. I'm like, what?
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
I think it's a disservice to wheel him back just to kill him off in a quick minute.
Now, the fact that we're discussing the fact
it's making me annoyed.
But hang on. Do you think he'll die?
Yes.
Okay,
I think it's pretty obvious from the trailer.
How about how?
The big things.
The incursions. Yeah, okay, cool.
I think
do we know for sure that he's going to die?
Destroy that world.
Maybe
maybe 3 or 5 of them will get out into another one into another universe before it explodes, and then they'll be at the front, and it might be James Marsden, and it might
Will you be shocked if they don't die?
I'll be very shocked if they don't die.
Will you be?
Like,
Yeah.
very shocked.
Yeah.
And I will probably be very impressed and happy with Kevin Feige. But I know that he wants to make his own X-Men. So the chances of any X-Men surviving this are so slim to none.
My thing about this is, and maybe this is maybe too much like inside baseball for anybody. The way that I look at it is that inside baseball. I know. It's straight to 180. My thing about it is the way that I look at it, and this is probably like going way too deep in the weeds on this one, but like this is what like Feige started his career on the X-Men, on the first X-Men.
Yeah,
he was the guy sneaking comic books to Hugh Jackman because Bryan Singer refused.
Driving him around.
But Bryan Singer refused, was adamant about not having any comic books on set. Like he was embarrassed by the source material, right? Which is like,
I think he's got other things to be embarrassed
about.
100%.
But they then spent that, but like, you know, it's then been kind of like a joke that they've then spent the next 20 years with on the foundation of being embarrassed by the source material. But then like the fans clearly want the source material.
Yeah.
So for me, I look at it as Feige being like, as someone who like loves the source material, Feige loves the source material, all right? He's always said that the comic books are like the baseline of everything that they jump off from. I think for him, it's like a circular moment where he's like, I want to give this team their due, right?
Okay.
I want to give this team their moment in the sun. I want to make sure that Cyclops is no longer a cuck. I want to make sure that you know what I mean? But like, there's been this research ever since X-Men 97 has come out. There's been this resurgence of like, oh, I didn't know Cyclops wasn't a bitch.
Show is so good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So good.
Yeah,
obsessed.
Don't read into the creator of the show. You'll be severely disappointed.
And definitely don't look at his ex.
Don't go on his OnlyFans. What a fucking sentence. But
he is hot though.
But he's problematically hot. Yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
But like they've spent the next 20 years reversing all of the embarrassment, right? And so I feel like that this is the final, like this is, I know that we say goodbye and all this, but like fucking it's comics, man. Like,
I know, but
comic characters die all the time in comic books.
Okay.
And they always come back.
Okay.
Which is shocking to me because like Quicksilver, Aaron Taylor Johnson, who died in Ultron, still hasn't returned. And I'm like, well, what did he do?
He did return.
He did return
as Kraven the Hunter.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Yeah, so that's my thing. I'm like, look, comic book logic, but then also like it is Feige's way of going like, look, these characters were never really given their due when I started. Now that I'm the one overseeing all of this, let me show people what they can, like what they're really capable of. Right?
How old were you when X-Men came out?
I was 15.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I was 15 years old when it came out.
How old are you?
40. X-Men 2000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, the first X-Men came out in year 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that was like for me, like at that time, oh my God, the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
X-Men 2, best thing I've ever seen. I liked X-Men 3 mainly because it was still the X-Men.
Yeah.
Just like I look at it now and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Same with Fantastic Four and Rise of the Silver Surfer. I was fucking obsessed with Rise of the Silver Surfer, but that's probably for a very different reason.
Evans or the Silver Surfer?
Evans.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll park that. We'll park that.
Come back to it later. Yeah.
I think the timing of this trailer has also, and I know it's at 54 million views, but I think the timing of the trailer is also what's hurting the perception because, and I admit the first thing that I noticed was that nothing was on location. It all looked a bit generative AI in the backgrounds. We've just watched The Odyssey several times. We can see what can be done practically. Yes, completely different genre. But when you go from that into that, it just is such a wild opposite ends of filmmaking. So it is like, well, do we want this? Because we have this. And that is like a feast, and this feels like
But they're both feasts in their own right, their own
Yeah.
way. Like it's it
immediately noticeable
Of
that
course.
no one was on a set, and you just go, oh. Like,
But
at
okay, so
least
if-
with
if- so if-
Justice League, I'll go. Zack Snyder's Justice League, stay with me.
Yeah, no.
Like, they went
I
to
like
Iceland.
I like Zack Snyder's Justice League,
like,
by the way.
they went to Iceland.
Yep.
They went to London. They went to, like, actual places.
Yeah.
And filmed. This
But
feels
like-
like, from what we saw,
Yeah.
nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Even though
All
that there've
script.
been reports that they did actually build sets and they did go to the Bahrainian desert and they did.
I didn't know that.
They did.
Good
They
to know.
actually went on location.
But this trailer doesn't show
They
that.
specifically shot in. Did they shoot in like? No, it wasn't Buckingham Palace, but they actually shot in like a royal property
Like some sort of
in
royal.
England. Yeah, no.
Okay.
So they're like they've gone
Okay.
on location
Well, that is good
to
to know
shoot
because
stuff.
this
Like,
trailer doesn't give that impression.
does the trailer not give this impression, or do we just? Is it the fact that like so many of us who are quote unquote online know too much about how the sausage is made, but not enough about how how it all comes together?
That's probably a very good point.
Right.
And I'm not prejudging.
Can I say something? Well, no. But I will interrupt you and just say something that my wife said to me yesterday, because I was actually because I think I had spent a little bit too much time on the internet yesterday.
Get back into bed. You're annoying me.
No. It was I was watching. So I woke up. We watched the trailer together. I freaked out. Thought it was the greatest thing ever. I was like, this is awesome. I love this so much. Whatever. And then I immediately started like looking at all the reaction videos from people like
You
content
shouldn't do
creators that I watch.
Yeah.
And the ones that I follow, I'm very deliberate about who I follow. But there was one, I won't mention who they are, but there were ones who usually are very, very positive. And they were like, yeah, I guess, whatever. You know what I mean? Like they were quite like ho-hum about it. And one of the guys said the reason why he was ho-hum about it was because of, and he said, the 5 years of baggage of what's happened in the MCU, right? And Amanda jumped in and she goes, this is the fucking problem, right? This right here is the problem, because it's when you become obsessive over a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't protect your joy, right? And so like for me, I'm like, I know how the sausage is made, and I can sit here. I know.
Sorry.
But I know,
Very
like,
immature.
We all know like how movies are made, right?
Yeah,
As
yeah.
critics, we know how movies are made. We know like
And
the behind the scenes, roughly.
They
right?
probably do release too much online about how it's made.
Well, but that's not even like a fault. That's not necessarily like a fault of anyone's, other than like needing to fill the content mill in a way.
yeah.
And so
get it.
I think for me, I'm like, what is so different about this than say the first Avengers or the second Avengers?
And I have an answer.
Yeah.
That had 10 years of build up with the same characters consistently in each other's projects and built to this event. What we've had since Eternals is Marvel throwing their fishing rod into the ocean and seeing what bites. And then so I think from what I understand, Marvel fans, because I don't count myself as an MCU fan. I used to, but probably not anymore. Part of the fandom.
Yeah.
I like the films, the TV shows, but I'm not part of that community that
Can I say that I'm
has
not either?
opinions and things to say and cares.
Yeah.
And usually the things that I like in the MCU, they hate. So
what do you like in the MCU?
So in the new, we call it the new, the current?
The multiverse saga, what do you like?
So Eternals, I think, is one of the
Cool.
best movies Marvel have ever done. It's
Yeah.
the biggest swing they took, and I thought it landed really well.
Yeah.
But
I
I
agree
don't
with
think
you.
Marvel fans are mature enough to handle it.
I think you would find that there is a large contingent of Marvel fans that actually agree with you.
Yeah.
It's a cult classic. Not cult classic, but it's a cult film amongst the MCU fandom. Yeah, sorry, go
The
on.
Marvels,
Yeah.
amazing film.
Yeah.
None of those characters were in that trailer. That pissed me off. Miss Marvel, what a fucking TV show. Moon Knight, what else did I really like? Agatha all along.
Are you excited about Vision Quest rounding out that trilogy?
So excited.
Apparently, I've heard very good things.
But I know that Agatha's not going to be the Avengers.
What if she
I'm
is?
not stupid.
But what if she is?
If she is, you will hear me collectively die in that cinema and melt down. But like, I think, the future of the MCU to get Gen Y on board is Miss Marvel and the Hawkeye chick whose name I always forget. And
Kate
I'm really
Bishop.
sorry because I love her. Like
Haley Steinfeld?
yes.
Yeah.
And the Heartstopper boy who's in Agatha. Oh my God, I'm so bad.
His name
Wanda's
is escaping
twins.
me.
Wanda's twins.
Yeah.
Like
Joe Locke.
Joe Locke. Like you should be getting Gen Y in with these cool kids, mixing in Zendaya and Tom Holland, getting the Gen Y in. So when you're hating MCU crusties finally crack it, you've still got superhero films to shoot, and that new generation is going to come up and support that. If you make the good films. I'm on a total tangent.
So
now.
what do you think?
But
so then, isn't that kind of what the X-Men are there for in a way?
Yeah, and I would love a new version of the X-Men,
Which you're getting.
but I don't think you need to kill off the old ones. The old ones again to blast that message through. I have such a space in my heart for those characters because, just so much happened in my life during those 3 films. And my love of film, they were a big part of.
Yeah, same.
So for me, when you kill them, I'm going to sound weird.
No.
It'll be like killing a part of me, and I'm not ready to watch that.
Yeah, well, because
at all. I'm not ready for that.
And that is a absolutely valid criticism.
So it's actually a selfish reason.
No. Well, part of the reason why we love superheroes so much. Look, my favorite superhero is Spider-Man. And the reason I love Spider-Man is because anyone can wear the mask, right? But he's one of the few superheroes that feels like he actually enjoys being a superhero. And when he puts the mask on, he can kind of just be himself. He's overtly himself, right? He's a smart ass. He's enjoying himself. He loves what he does to a degree. I mean, obviously all the hardships aside and the fact that the fans want him to suffer forever. But
do you think he's going to be in this?
I've heard things that I wish I hadn't heard. There will be spoiler alert. I don't know if this is a spoiler, but there will be a Spider-Man in this. I've heard, but I don't know fully, and that is a lot of internet.
Are you telling me that we might get a Miles Morales?
No.
Damn it!
No.
Okay.
No,
that's who I would really want.
No. We will get a Miles Morales eventually, but not right now.
I think it's time. We need one.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
yes, we are long overdue for a Miles Morales, but that is a Sony problem, not a Marvel Studios problem.
Sony.
You can blame Amy Pascal for that.
Amy and Kevin did
the press tour that they've been on has been very funny.
I was not psyched for Spider-Man because I enjoyed the spectacle of the last one, but I thought the story was shite and could have been a lot better. And I'm not happy that they are all split up and they forget who he is. That actually makes me sad because that trio I think is so good.
But they are so they are so central to this new film, though.
Really, really scared about this film. However, the trailer that they released this week, I was crying.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this making me cry?
We've been doing a home rewatch. So we've rewatched Homecoming and Far From Home, and I think after this, we're probably going to do No Way Home.
Yeah, I'm going to start this weekend.
Yeah. So
sorry, back to it.
No, that's okay. Yeah. So your criticisms are valid, particularly because superheroes we use superheroes are a part of our identity. We identify with them because of they instill values in us, and they are the people that we want to be. So I can totally understand that, definitely.
Yeah, and look, I'm excited that I really like the Black Panther side of the MCU, so I'm excited to get more of Namor. However, who took his slutty little outfit away and made him wear full clothes? They should be fired. Fired.
Well, maybe look, maybe we will be given full nude, a skimpy budgie smugglers.
Bring
Namor
back his
point.
outfit from Black Panther 2.
I'm sure we'll get
I'm excited for that side, and I really liked when Shuri put the the suit on, that looked cool. Like, I like that her suit is very different to my ex-husband, Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P.
Your late husband, Chadwick Boseman.
Not really.
Yeah.
We weren't really married.
No.
Well, he didn't
That's
know.
okay.
He didn't
Still
know
late
about
husband.
it. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And there is a rumor, because the question that I've seen online is, so what are they going to do at Comic-Con? And the rumor is that they're going to shadow drop a film in between Doomsday and
Secret Wars.
And that film may be Black Panther 3. I hope that's true.
I hope it's
I'll
not
be very
true.
happy.
I hope it's not true, because if you think about the timeline, right, pre-production would need to start ASAP.
It's probably already happening, and we just don't
well,
know. And they've
yeah.
kept it so under wraps that it's a total surprise.
If they have managed to keep a Black Panther 3 under wraps with the internet the way it is, I will be fucking beyond shocked.
All they need to do is play Starboy and have Kugler walk out, and people will lose their minds. And know what it is.
I think the thing is, I think what we're going to get,
I'm just
we
being
will
selfish and hoping.
we might get a new Black Panther. I think they might.
Do you think that the world/internet is ready for that? And what if it's Ryan Gosling? I've seen that AI photo, and it does make me laugh.
Fucking hell!
God,
I hate that
would
discussion
make
so
people
much. We will get into the Odyssey discussion, because it does touch on similar themes about like the online fucking bullshit that happened around that film. Is it? I think the world is ready for a new Black Panther. I think the world is ready for a new.
But you don't think that it should be Shuri?
Look, it depends on what they want to do with.
And like, could she be like Black Panther-esque? Is there a Black Panther-esque? Like, is there a character that
No, they
she
do.
could
They
be?
do. I mean, the Black Panther is a mantle. It's not just a character necessarily. It's not just T'Challa. I mean, like.
Sorry, I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said is a man. I'm like,
No.
okay.
The Black Panther, like, I think she has held, like, women have held the mantle of Black Panther in the comic books, as
Okay.
far as I know.
But
yeah,
yeah, okay.
Do you want it to be? Do you want Shuri to keep Black Panther?
I don't know, but I think, he was so iconic in that role, and that movie was so. Like, that review is like one of my most read reviews, and the video is one of my most watched videos.
For the first
for
Black Panther? Yeah.
Probably similar to X-Men. I would struggle unless it was someone who was like, I think if it was M'Baku, I'd be okay.
Because he's identifiable, and you can tie him back to that era.
But if they just randomly chuck someone in, it might be a harder pill to swallow. Whereas if they create a scenario where he has no choice but to step into the Black Panther, I think that may be more accepting.
Well,
he's also really hot, and I want to see him in the suit. So
interestingly enough, though, I mean, like, Wakanda Forever ends with, I forget her name, Lupita Nyong'o's character meeting. Oh no, sorry, Shuri meeting T'Challa's son for the first time, right? That she didn't know he had.
Yeah, true.
That they kept a secret. And so, like, for me, I'm like, okay, so I'd be interested to see, like, there are reports and rumors going around that Coogler's very invested in the idea of, like, legacy and, like, what that means to, like, carry on the mantle of something. Because one of the one of the things that they wanted to really dive into if Boseman had lived in Wakanda Forever was the idea of, after the blip, missing out on 5 years of your son's life, and what that meant. The story that I heard was that it was supposed to be like a ritual where father and son go out into the bush, go out to the jungle, and survive as a sort of like, as a kind of like a relationship building thing, or like a sort of like a ritual. And the whole point of it was supposed to be about what it meant to lose 5 years of your life, but lose a significant. And so for me as a new dad, I'd be like, whoa,
that would have been a film for you.
I'm kind of glad that it wasn't made, because I'd be like, fuck, I would have fallen apart.
Feels.
But yeah, so sorry, I'm just getting on a tangent.
No, that's okay. We do need to wrap up.
Yeah.
Because we're about to be invaded.
Yeah.
So
the Trojan horses arrived.
Final thoughts on Doomsday. I'm going to say I have watched the trailer about 6 times now, just to kind of get the feel for it. You have talked me around a little bit, more into it.
Yeah.
I just really hope that those scenes that were left open, particularly in the Marvels, around, Monica Rambeau ending up where she did. Obviously, she's in the X-Men universe now.
Do you know, not to cut you off, but I think the thing that I find really endearing about what you're saying, and the thing that I really love about what you're saying, is the fact that your unhappiness comes from the fact that, like, what is deemed to be the most, by some fans, the most unpopular parts of phases 4, 5, and 6, you love. Which
I gave Thor Love and Thunder 4.5
which
stars.
I love, because that
railed.
says to me that, like, there is mass appeal. And so okay, so here's what I'll say. Sorry, I'm sorry to go. No, I have a lot of thoughts about it. I just love the fact that you you are, like, so wholeheartedly on board with, like, the Marvels, Love and Thunder.
Yeah, like
the Eternals.
Generally, the stuff that people didn't like, I liked.
Yeah.
And then the stuff that people did like Doctor Strange 2, was it? Or 3? 2? I was like, meh.
Well, yeah.
And everyone was like, best film ever. I'm like,
Yeah.
is it though?
I think that for me, I have a lot of thoughts about it. But, like, for me,
You got 2 minutes.
Okay. We know too much. We know how.
Do we though?
No. We know too much about the behind the scenes process.
All right, yeah.
And I feel like that as fans clouds our judgment in terms of it clouds our enjoyment of this thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't think he's going to be like, I don't think he's going to take his mask off and everyone's like, Tony Stark. I think that they are going to be trying to be making him very distinct from him. I don't think that they'll kill off the X-Men. I think that there are going to be massive surprises, and I think that it'll be something. My only worry that I have about the film, I just don't want them to do a fucking Infinity War Redux, right? I don't want them to sort of do the beat for beat do the Infinity War best of hits, right?
I don't think they will.
So that's the thing that I worry about. They're like, because they're kind of doing this thing with, like, this villain, and we're going to make him the central part of it and all this sort of stuff. So I'll be very, very curious to see where they go with it. But they know that they're on. Marvel knows that the pressure is on, and I think they're going to meet that moment. So I'm very, very excited. I think people need to fucking just chill out and get off the internet. That's my thing. That's my ultimate thing. Chill out. Get off the internet, watch the trailer, just stop being fucking performatively cynical. There's only I'm sure you can, you spam, I watched this and I didn't feel anything. It's like, well, fucking, what are you doing here commenting in the comment section? Like, relax. All right? Find something, if this isn't your thing anymore, that's cool.
Move on,
bro. Move on to something else. There's a big wide world out there. You can find something else. You don't have to try and relive your childhood.
You can go watch Dune Part 3.
You know what I mean?
It comes out on the same day.
It comes out the same day. Yeah. I'll be there. I'll be there right next to you. I'll watch fucking Dune 3, and then I'll head across town and watch Doomsday. Like, that's oh my God, we're living in such a great time. We're feasting as feasts. Yeah. It's a nerd feast. Anyway, that's my thoughts. So
quick lightning round. Characters that you think will be in the film, yes or no? The Jessica Alba Fantastic Four verse.
No.
Damn you.
No.
Okay. Fantastic Four Alba verse. Yes, no.
Yes.
Ooh. Specific characters. Do you think Evans will come back?
Ioan Griffith is going to be back, I think.
Who?
Yeah, the original Mr. Fantastic, I think, might make
I don't know his actor name. Just say Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else?
We'll see.
Anybody else? Who's the one that...
Do you think Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider?
No, but...
With Rebel Wilson on the back of the bike?
No, but I have heard Ryan Gosling Ghost Rider. I know. Anyway, yeah, that's all we have time for. I'll see you next week.